Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was missing you all yesterday. There was no session yesterday. Okay. Because of client call. I hope you have missed me. So let's proceed to tomorrow. Yes. Superb. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So we have understood about the S3 buckets. We have understood about S3 buckets. So who is ready to talk about AWS S3 for a couple of minutes? Raise your hand. Who is ready to talk about S3? Raise your hand. Okay. Okay. Many people. Very good. Let's pick up Sandeep Sen. So what do you know about S3? Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Sunil.
Very, very happy to listen you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to speak because I was quite a long time I was trying to speak,
Thank you.
but it's okay because of a huge number of participant. It happens. Yeah.
Okay.
So coming back to the point, S3 bucket. It's nothing but a storage account on the vendor is Amazon, and onto that like we can store our files, like
Okay.
that file could be a text file,
Mhm.
PDF files, and
Okay.
word and an image file, recording files,
Okay.
and even a VHD also, means hard disks. But though I think though we Amazon uses a different storage to store the hard disk, but but we can use it. But anyway, we can use it this kind of.
Okay.
And that the second. Now the another thing is there are few. Say it is nothing but to store files and our this audio video things in our personal laptops
You
or
already have mentioned
desktop.
that.
Yeah, no, the difference between keeping a copy of date like files in hard disks or in Amazon storage, like it is Amazon having different kind of tiers, like renting tiers, as of like the last week what you have said, like pricing tier, so that the data, whatever, or the file whatever we stored, that will be backed up regularly, and a smallest amount of changes even we have done on the any of the file, version wise, sequentially it will be stored. So by any chance, if we want to revert back to any of our previous versions, we can do that. So it's a added advantage on that. That is one thing. Second, that is one point. The another point, through access control list, we can grant or restrict access of those files. Like I have stored some files on that. I want my some of my 4 or 5 friend will access those files only. So
Okay.
I can do that.
Very good.
Means access controlling, we can do that. And now there are few files like which may required after 10 years or 15 years. So taking another pricing tiers, which is called archiving tiers, I can store it for
Very
next
good.
15 years, next 15 or 20 years.
Okay. Good.
Plus this static option is also there.
Static
Like
what option?
that one, static website options.
Yeah, static
like
website hosting.
a static website, that is also an excellent feature. Like if I want to publish very easy, like some picture or something as a website, i can like some pictures I just want as a static website.
Okay.
I can store it, I can
Okay.
do it as that one.
So you know this, Sandeep, or your first time you're learning?
So actually I'm a Azure certified, Azure administrator certified.
Okay, so you already know all these kind of stories.
I knew the Azure things. Now I got the opportunity to learn
And learn
Azure
from the AWS perspective.
Yeah, I learned from AWS perspective, and I'm Windows admin of like 12 plus years of working. I mean, as a Windows administrator.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So now the cloud is the future. So
We all
that
know
is a
that. Mhm.
yes. So I actually sequentially I want to move to DevOps side.
Mhm.
So I was just attending this, like this timing which you have said, it's a very suitable for me. So
Okay.
even attending my office shift and all, I am attending.
Yeah,
So I've seen
parallelly. Mm,
parallelly I'm doing.
okay,
Just
very
I
good.
have a one questions. The
Mhm.
way
You
you
are
are
attending
doing
from the
this
beginning, or you have
right from
joined
the
somewhere?
first day, right from the
So, how
first
is
day.
your experience of AWS learning, especially
It's
EC2 service, right?
yeah. It's really good. Just one questions to you.
Mm.
You will cover that AWS IaaS part, right? Like or
IAM.
any no. I not IIM IaaS, like infrastructure as a service only. You will cover here, or PaaS services also you will cover
No, those
throughout this
services are covered as part of professional course. This is associate level, right?
associate. So only
Yeah.
IaaS.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Okay.
Okay. And just one questions.
Hmm.
Do your like this Logic Lab Technologies, do you provide Linux training?
No, I'm
No,
not.
no
We are
line.
not providing. No Linux.
Oh, you're not provided. Okay, because I while I'm doing this
You're from
AWS,
Windows, right? You want to learn
I'm
Linux also.
yes. So I need a
Mhm.
little bit Linux knowledge. But anyway,
Okay.
fine. Please carry on. I took a lot
Thank
of
you,
time of
Sandeep.
yours.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Sandeep. Okay.
yeah. Bye.
Uh, one more interaction. Sparsh Agarwal. Anything more you want to add with respect to S3?
An opportunity
Hi, Agarwal.
to ask one question. Right?
Your volume is little low.
Sir, my question that S3 is a global service, but while creating a bucket, we always define a region, sir.
Yes.
So,
We
what
don't,
is
we select a
what is,
region. When you're
what is
creating
the
a bucket,
point of the S3 is global service? So, why do we define region, sir?
don't say global service. Don't get confused. You're using the word global service. S3 dashboard is global. Okay. S3 dashboard is global. Okay. When you're creating a bucket, Sparsh, when you're creating a bucket, obviously you will store
Yes,
some
sir.
data. Okay. Sparsh,
Yes, sir. Sorry, there was
when you
some network issue from my
when
end.
we
Sorry.
create a bucket, obviously the next thing naturally what you do is to store some data. Agree? Can you store 10
Yes,
terabytes
sir.
of data? Can we store 10 terabytes of data?
No, sir. In S3 we can't, sir.
We can't store 10 TB.
No, sir. There is a limit, sir. In
Mhm.
S3.
What is the limit?
I think I remember it's 5 TB, sir.
That is each
And
file size limit. I'm talking about
e-
unlimited storage. Okay, each file is having 1 TB. Can I store 10 files? It becomes 10 TB. You can also store 10, 100 TB also. Okay,
yes, sir.
that's of each file limit. But finally, you have unlimited storage. Agree or not, Sandeep? Sparsh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The point is, let's say you're storing some 1 terabyte of data. Technically, it should consume some space in the data center. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Sparsh,
Yes, sir.
if you are storing some 10 terabytes of data, hmm? don't mute Sparsh unless we complete our discussion. Okay, don't mute and
Yes, sir.
please be unmute state. You are storing 1 terabyte of data. Technically, it will still consume some memory, hard disk space. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in which data center it's consumed? That you have to select it.
Okay.
Are you understanding?
Yeah, sir. I got the
Technically, it
point
should
now.
store in some data center.
Exactly.
Okay, you're starting a OTT platforms, something like Amazon Prime. Sparsh,
Yes,
you're
sir.
starting a new business like an OTT platform, something
Okay.
like Amazon Prime. Your target audience is, let's say, for example, your target audience is India. Okay,
Okay, sir.
you want to have some OTT platform based on Hindi language or regional language. Now, do you store your all your movies in Australia data center? No,
No,
you
sir.
always prefer it in India data center only. Agree?
Exactly. Yes,
Because
sir.
there will be less network traffic. Your end
Yes.
customers are in India, your data center also you preferably take an India region. Agree or not? So when you want to store some data, you have to specify in which data center you want to store some data. Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Decision should be done by the end user, customer. Agree?
Okay.
Yes. Okay?
Yes.
Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So did
Thank
I
you, sir.
answer your question? Did I answer your question, Sparsh?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's move on. The most important term I'm expecting when anybody asking you about object storage, the most important thing what I'm expecting is object storage. This is what I'm expecting. You have to use this term object storage, okay? To make it more, S3 is an object storage. You can store objects. Objects are nothing but any file. Any file. It can be any file. You can store it. You have to use some points like unlimited storage. As Mr. Sandeep said, you have to explain about version controlling. You have to explain about access control list. You have to explain about static website hosting. You have to explain about encryption. You have to explain about cross-region replication. You have to explain about transfer acceleration. All this you have to explain it. The interviewer who is taking the interview should believe that you are good in the subject. Okay, for that you have to be very clear. First, you have to acquire the subject knowledge. Step two, presentation skills are very important. You may know the subject, but if you are unable to explain the subject, that's it. There's no meaning in it. Agree? So you have to acquire the subject. Step one, you have to properly present it. You have to use the terminologies which I'm using it in my PPT or which I'm using it in my notes. Using the right terminologies will be more effective, especially in the easy to any service. Identify, understanding the concept of it, and using the terminologies properly presenting will make a lot of difference. Okay, so let's move ahead. We already have experienced, my dear friends, we already have experience about how to create a bucket, how to upload the objects into the bucket, how to access the object using the object URL, how to delete the object, how to delete the bucket. All this we have explained it, right? So let's move on, learning more in detail about the concept. So what is our plan for today's session? So we'll be experiencing features of special features of S3: versioning, static website hosting, classes, cross-region replication, transfer acceleration, encryption, tags, metadata, access control list, bucket policies. I definitely there are a lot of close to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. Okay, but I'm sure within 1 hour we cannot complete 11 points. Okay, let's go in a natural pace. Let's see how many points we can cover for today's session. So let's go ahead and log into S3. Services under storage S3. S3 region is dashboard. Region is S3 dashboard is global. You know that. Right now there are no buckets. Let's go ahead and create a bucket. We already have learned how to create a bucket. You also know the bucket naming rules. Bucket having some number. So I want to create the bucket in Mumbai region. By default, the bucket is blocked. You have to unblock it, and you have to acknowledge the settings and then go ahead and create a bucket. Okay, so we have done step one. We have done with creating a bucket. So let's discuss about the first point. First point is very, very important. I think I'm using the wrong notes. 1 minute, please. Yes, this is the right notes. Let's move on to the first topic called versioning. Versioning. Okay, before getting into technical concepts of understanding, let's try to understand the general meaning. General meaning of the term versioning. Okay, what do you mean by versioning? AWS S3. Okay, when you enable the versioning feature, by default, every feature is disabled. Look at this first point I'll tell you. Let's go into the bucket. Let's go into the bucket. Go to the properties of the bucket. Go to the properties of the bucket. Look at bucket versioning, disabled. Tags, no tags. Encryption, disabled. Okay. Server access logging, disabled. Cloud trials, nothing. Event notification, nothing. Transfer acceleration, disabled. Object log, disabled. Requested price, disabled. Static website hosting, everything will be disabled. By default, every feature is disabled. As per the requirement, you need to enable the feature and use the feature as per the client requirement. I'm explaining about the first feature called versioning. When you enable, right now by default, every feature is disabled, as I mentioned. By when you enable it, AWS maintains different versions of the file. Let's say, for example, you have uploaded an object. Let's say this is the bucket. Okay, you have uploaded your object. Let's say you have uploaded one file. Name of the file is resume.doc. Your resume have uploaded. Okay, next day you have made some changes and you upload it into the bucket again. What happens? Old object will be replaced with a new one. As the file name is the same, the old file will be replaced with new one. That's what happens anywhere. Agree or not? So when you update some object, and the object is nothing but file. When you update some file and when you upload the file, the old object will be replaced with a new one. When you want AWS S3 to maintain different versions of your object, when you want the different versions of the objects to be maintained, that can be possible. When you want different versions of the object, it can be possible by enabling the concept of versioning. When you enable versioning, it will maintain different versions of the object. I will enable the versioning and I'll show you how exactly AWS will help you to recover the current version, as well as it will also help you to recover the older versions of the object. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on. 1 minute, please. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, please. Okay. So let's move ahead and understand the concept of versioning. I will enable the versioning feature. Enabling is pretty simple. Click on edit. By default, everything will be disabled, and you can see everything is disabled. Click on enable. Save changes. I have enabled versioning feature. I have enabled versioning feature. Got it? Okay. Next, I want to upload an object. I just want to show you how can we recover the object. Okay. 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 So first thing, okay. Let's upload an object. Somewhere in my desktop, I create a new file. The file name is something like hello.txt. It is very simple. File name is hello.txt. In this particular file, I'm writing some content. My first line. Done. I have a file. The name of the file is hello.txt. That file is having one line of content, my first line. Very simple. Okay. Can I upload the object? No doubt. Upload. In my desktop, the file name is hello.txt. I am uploading the object. I grant public access. I understand the settings and I upload the object. I upload the object. the bucket has been created, the object has been uploaded. If you want to access the object, when you click on the object, you get the object URL. You can copy the object URL and just want to show you, we already have learned it just for verification. Now, obviously, we'll be able to access the object. You're able to see the content. Fine. So that's what you have created a bucket, you have uploaded the object. Now I want to discuss about this concept of versioning. There is two advantages. In the interview, they'll ask you about versioning. You have to explain about two advantages. There are two advantages of versioning. First advantage, you can recover the deleted object. When you enable versioning, you can recover the deleted object. You can recover the deleted object. Look at this. How many objects are there in the bucket? How many objects are there? You can clearly say there's only one object. The first advantage is you can recover the deleted object. I am deleting the object. I am deleting the object. How to delete the object? We already know it. Select the object, whichever you want. We have an option called delete. Are you sure? It will ask you, are you sure you want to delete? Yes, I want to delete. I confirm it by typing the delete. And then I click on delete. Delete object. Successfully deleted the object. Okay. You have right now, you can see the bucket is empty. You can recover the deleted objects when you, as you have enabled version. Normally, you cannot recover. If you delete an object, it's permanently lost. Generally, as per default settings, when you delete a particular object from the bucket, it's lost permanently. But as you have enabled the versioning feature, the advantage, the first advantage, you can recover the deleted object. How to recover the deleted object? Look at this, this is very important. When you enable versioning, let's say you have uploaded the object. You have uploaded the object. After uploading the object, what you have done, you have deleted the object. We think when we delete an object is not deleted. Object is not deleted. Object is marked as deleted. I repeat again. When you delete an object, we think the object is deleted. When you enable versioning, when you delete an object, we think object is deleted. No, object is not deleted. We think, you can see, we think object is deleted. No objects are available in the bucket. No, it's not deleted. It's still there. Object is not deleted. Object is marked as deleted. Object is marked as deleted. Okay. Look at it. I'll show you the object and the corresponding mark. I will show you the object and the corresponding mark also. Can you see here we have show versions? And this switch on the show versions. Now you can see this is the actual object and the corresponding marker. This is the mark. This is the object and this is the mark. So we think that the object is deleted. Object is not deleted. Object is marked as deleted. How do you recover the object? You have to remove the mark. You have to remove the mark. When you remove the mark, you can recover the object. When you remove the mark, you can recover the object. How do you remove the mark? Look at this. This is the mark, right? Select the marker and then delete the mark. Then you have deleted the mark. Now you will get back your object. Can you see? This is the bucket. Now can you see the object is now accessible? Yes. Your now object is available and you are able to access the object. Select the object, go to the object URL. Are you able to access the object? Yes, I'm able to access the object. This is important. I repeat again, whenever you delete an object, object is not deleted. Object remains, but it is marked as deleted. So what you have to do if you want to recover, you have to remove the mark. Just remove the mark. Just remove the mark, you can recover the object. That's the first advantage. So if anybody asks you about versioning, you have to explain two advantages. The first advantage, what I have told you, is we can recover the deleted object. Okay. The second advantage, as the name suggests, as you have enabled versioning, as the name says, it will maintain different versions of the object. As the name suggests, it will maintain different versions of the object. How can we maintain? How can we get the different versions of the object? Right now, this is the bucket. In this bucket, we can see there is one object. Object is hello.txt. This object is having how many lines of content? We all know it's one line of content. Agree? We all know it is having one line of content. Now what I'll do, I'll update the object. I will update the object. So let's what is where is the object available in my desktop? This is the name of the object. Hello.txt. Right now this object is having one line. I'm adding one more line. My second line. I have file saved. I have updated the object. I have updated the object. Now I will upload the object into the bucket. Upload. Add files. Grant public access. I understand the settings. I'm uploading. Technically, what happens? Successfully uploaded. Technically, what happens? The old file will be replaced with the new one. Yes, it has a new one. Now, if you want to access the object using the object URL, technically what will happen? You get the latest object. Look at this. I am now accessing the object using the object URL. Are you able to get the latest object? Yes, you are getting the latest object. You have updated the object. You have uploaded the same object into the bucket. The old object has been replaced with the new one. And this is the proof. Then you're accessing the object using the object URL. You get the latest object. Now your client requirement is, let's say your client says that I want the older version of the object. You can do that. Yes, you can get the older versions of the object. Look at this. How to get the older versions of the object? Go back to your object. Go back to your bucket. Can you see we have show versions? When you click on show versions, you can see you will find two versions here. Okay, by looking at the timestamp, you can know which one is the latest one, which one is the oldest one. You can see this is the bottom one is the oldest one. If you want to get the older versions of the object, select that. Right now there are two versions like this. It will maintain n number of versions. There's no limitation. Whichever the version you want, you can select this version, and there's an option called download. I'm downloading in my downloads folder. Now I am downloading it. Yes, you can see it is downloaded. Now I am getting the older versions of the object. It's only having one line. The newer version is having two lines, and my first line, my second line. The older version is having only my first line. Did I able to access the older version of the object, my dear friends? Tell me, did I able to access the older versions of the object? You are able to do that because you have enabled versioning. Because you have enabled versioning. So quick recap. Where the two advantages of versioning. Quick recap, two advantages of versioning. First point, you can recover the deleted object. You have to explain that when you enable versioning, we can recover the deleted object. When an object is deleted, it is not technically deleted. The object remains in the bucket, but it is marked as deleted. When you remove the mark, you can get back the object. That's the first thing. As you have enabled versioning, as the name suggests, it will maintain different versions of the object, whichever you want. As per the timestamp, you can download the object and you can refer that particular object in future. That is the first advantage of versioning. I hope I'm very clear explaining you the first advantage of versioning. Let's move on to the second feature, static website hosting. Let's move on to the second feature, static website hosting. To be very clear, every feature I will help you in explaining it by creating the bucket from the scratch. I don't want to use the same bucket. I don't want to use the same bucket. I am deleting the object. I am deleting the bucket. Bucket must be empty. Recover the deleted objects. Everything you deleted. Done. First point. Next, I want to explain about with respect to static website hosting. Let's learn about static website hosting. Let's create a bucket. Let's create a bucket. Bucket name can be anything. I want to create the bucket in Mumbai region. By default, the bucket is blocked. Acknowledge the settings. Go ahead and create a bucket. Bucket create. I want to, and by default, every feature is disabled. You know that. I want to enable static website hosting. Okay. When you enable static website hosting, it will ask for index document and error document. When you enable static website hosting, it will ask for 2 files. Every website should have minimum 2 files. Error.html, index.html, and error.html. That's what you have to mention here. Look at this. Go to your bucket. Properties. Which feature now we are planning to enable? Static website hosting. Disabled right now. When you enable static website hosting, it will ask for 2 documents, index document and error document. In fact, one document is enough, and in error document is optional, but still I want to use both the documents, and I also want to show you the importance of both the documents. The index document will generally be index.html. Those are already in the website field. You can understand the importance of index document. So it's nothing but a home page, index.html, and one more file I'm mentioning, error.html. How many files you have mentioned? Document, index.html, error.html is what you have mentioned it here, and click on save. So what did you do now? You have created a bucket. You have enabled static website hosting, and you have mentioned 2 file names. One is index.html, the error.html. Next, what you have to do, these 2 files, index.html and error.html, you have to create these 2 files and upload it into the bucket. You have to create these 2 files and upload it into the bucket. Let's create. Right now you can see the bucket is empty. I will create these 2 files. What are the 2 files which we have to create? Index.html and error.html. So I learned a little bit of HTML. So h1 heading tag. Welcome to my website. Close of heading tag. This document I'll say it as index.html. First file is ready, index.html. Where is the first file? Index.html. You can see this is the first file is ready. Okay, and I want to check whether the first file is correctly displaying or not. File I will be opening this index.html. As you can see, there's a first site called welcome to website. So my website is perfect. My page is perfectly opening. I should create one more page, error.html. Website under construction. This file I say it as error.html. And I want to check whether this error.html is properly displayed or not. Website under construction. Yes, it's properly displayed. Okay, so both the files are ready. Okay, so as I have both the files ready, 1 minute. I have missed heading tag, that's why it is. That's why they are displayed very less. Yes, website under construction. 2 files are ready. I upload these 2 files into my bucket. index.html, error.html. Both the files I'm uploading. I always grant public access. I understand the settings. Close it. Okay. So what did I do? Step 1, I have created a bucket. This is the bucket. Step 2, I have enabled static website hosting. After enable static website hosting, I have mentioned 2 files. One is index.html, error.html. And these 2 files, I have created it and I have uploaded it to the bucket. Okay. Now, this assume that you have a website of 5 pages: home page, services page, okay, testimonials page, contact us page. Okay, so let's say you have a website of 5 pages or 4 to 5 pages. So you have to have upload all the pages into the bucket. Okay, like this index.html page, contact.html page, services.html page, registration.html page, login.html page. Okay, so you have like all these pages, you have to upload it to properly create links. And let's say if you're very good designer, you can create the web pages and then upload all the pages into the bucket. And how can you access the bucket as a website? Whenever you enable static website hosting, scroll down. Whenever you enable static website hosting, you can see bucket endpoint will be created. Bucket endpoint is something like a domain name, www.xyz.com or something like that. A domain name, something equivalent to domain name. Bucket endpoint will behave like a domain name. So copy the bucket endpoint. I have copied the bucket endpoint and I am accessing the website using the bucket endpoint. Can you see welcome to my site? It could be as simple as welcome to my site, or it could be a very good login page or something like that. So when you click on this login page, services page like this, it could be simply like this, or it could be like this, changes everything, payment page, interview questions page, free training page, contact us page. So something is, so it's up to how you beautifully you design the pages. Now, is it working like this? So bucket endpoint generates automatically, it behaves like a domain name. Okay, perfect. So this is how you can use the bucket for static website hosting. You may have a question. Generally, so you may have a question. Sunil, generally the website will have something like www.sunilhyd.com. So generally we have a domain name. Let's say you have a buy domain name. Future, what you can do, you can buy the domain name in GoDaddy or whatever it is. And what you have to do, you have to link the domain name to the bucket endpoint. Our understanding, as you have the bucket endpoint, now you have to buy the domain name and link the domain name to bucket endpoint. When you link the domain name to the bucket endpoint, when anybody accesses the domain, automatically you'll get the site. Now, how to link the domain name to the bucket endpoint? You can buy the domain name, and in future, if you want to link the domain name to the bucket endpoint, that can be possible by using a service called as Route 53. So when I explain Route 53, I'll show you how to link the domain name with this particular bucket endpoint. Now, as we don't have the domain name, you can experience the website using the bucket endpoint. So you can use the S3 bucket storage as for website hosting. What is the importance of error.html? What is index.html is something like a home page. The first page, if ever anybody opens a website, the first page will be default index.html. That is the importance of index.html. What is the importance of error.html? Because of any reason, if the home page is not getting displayed, because assuming the file is removed from the bucket or whatever it could be, assuming if the main page is nothing but the index.html, assuming by mistake it has been deleted. I'm deleting it. As the main page is deleted, now if anybody, as it is deleted now, if anybody accesses the bucket using the bucket endpoint, now if anybody accesses the bucket using endpoint, generally what we get page not found. Instead of page not found, we should give a meaningful message to the customer saying that website is under construction. So automatically error.html will be pops up. So that's the beauty of error.html. The importance of error.html is because of any reason. If file could be corrupted, or file could be by mistake deleted, or file is not having read options, file is not available to public. Whatever could be the reason, if the main home page is nothing but the index.html is unable to render it, automatically error.html shows it instead of page not found. This kind of meaningful message you can show it to the customers. Please visit after some time or something like this. So this is the importance of error.html. So I hope I'm very clear in explaining you the second feature of storage, S3 storage, that is nothing but bucket hosting, static website hosting. Okay. Any questions? Please raise your hand. Yogesh Daria.
Am I audible?
You are audible, Yogesh.
Good
How
evening,
are you?
sir. I had a question. Sir, in right now we are studying about S3. So I remember you saying that it allows us to store our data in the form of objects. That's true.
No, it allows you. Please repeat your question.
Uh, it is an object level storage, right? S3
It's not object level, it's object storage. Don't say level.
object storage.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I saw something similar like this in case of EBS volume. We call it as block storage, and here
Yes.
we have object storage.
Object
So I
storage.
wanted to know the difference between the
The
two. Is there
the
any
main
difference?
yeah, object storage refers to file storage. Okay. Can you install our Windows operating system in S3? Huh? It's also storage,
Uh,
right? So can you install Windows, or can you install Tomcat, or can you install Google Chrome in S3 storage? No, it's not file installation.
mhm.
Whereas you can install it in the EC2 volumes, right, Yogesh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It's purely a file. Object refers to file storage. Okay.
And sir, in case of versioning, we saw that our newly created files will be there in our S3 object S3 bucket as objects, and our previous files would also be there.
Both will be there.
Uh,
Both will.
yes, sir. So, sir, by doing so, aren't we consuming our storage even more? So,
Yes,
can that
because
so we
as you have enabled versioning, it will consume more storage because it should maintain older object as well as newer object. Agree, Rajesh? Yogesh?
okay, so sir,
As it
in the
consumes so memory, more memory. If you want the advantage, it will consume the memory. As it consumes memory, you get the bill according to it. Okay. Okay.
corresponding bill will be
Bill.
created.
So it everything
Okay,
feature is attached to the bill. Okay. If you want to
okay.
use this feature, okay, you have to pay the bill because it consumes more storage. Let's say you don't want to bill. Okay, don't enable. It's up to us to whether to use this particular feature or not. Okay, Yogesh.
Sir, for that static website hosting which we
Hmm,
just did, you created an
hmm.
error dot file where we kept
Error.html file. Hmm.
error dot HTML file where we kept the error message as website under construction. I believe in our attendees we definitely have full stack and front end developers. So I wonder if you could have kept it as website under development, nah, then it would have
Okay.
made even more sense.
Whatever it is. Okay. You just to understand the concept. Okay.
Yes, sir. And sir,
Hmm.
I wished good evening to you, and I also like to wish to the good evening to the
To
other
everybody in
attendees
the
as
world.
well who
Okay.
follow. No, who
Hmm.
follow the Indian Standard Timeline. For the rest, I have good morning and good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh.
It was amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. You're saying something. Sorry. You are allowed to unmute, Yogesh. You're saying something.
No, I would have got unmuted by mistake. No, that's fine.
Mhm.
That's all what I wanted to say.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay. So let's move on to next feature. Classes and tiers. Very important. Let's start from the scratch. Okay. I want to discuss about storage classes. People also call as tired storage. Okay, so popularly called as storage classes. So what is storage classes? What is the importance of storage classes? Let's try to understand. Yogesh, can we have a discussion again, if you don't mind, with respect to understanding the concept of storage classes?
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Okay.
Why not?
Look at the PPT.
It would be visible to me in some time.
Okay, Yogesh. AWS provides different storage classes. Examples of storage classes are standard, intelligent tiering, standard 1A, 1 zone, glacier, deep archive. So these are some examples of storage classes. What do you mean by storage classes? Let's try to understand it. Yogesh, okay. So you know S3 before, is the first time you're learning, Yogesh.
No, sir. I didn't attend the first class of S3, so I went through. I made some diagnosis on my end itself, so that things would be even more clear.
Okay, okay. You're beginner, no? Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's try to understand the storage classes. Okay,
Yes, sir.
whenever. Okay. Okay. Let's make this explanation like this. You're from which city?
Jabalpur, sir. Right now, as if I'm Chhindwara, actually, Madhya Pradesh.
Okay. Capital of Madhya Pradesh is?
Bhopal.
Okay. I want to travel from Hyderabad to Bhopal. Okay.
Okay.
I want to travel in train. Okay. I can travel in sleeper class. I can travel in 3-tier AC. I can travel in 2-tier AC. I can travel in a chair car. I can travel in general also, general compartment. Agree?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But finally, I will reach my destination. I will achieve my goal. So
Bhopal.
whenever I want to travel from Hyderabad to a particular destination, there are different classes what Indian Rivals provides us, and it's up to you. Every class is having its own advantage and disadvantage. Do you agree?
Yes, sir, I do.
Perfect. In the same way, whenever you are uploading the object into the bucket, AWS provides different storage classes. AWS provides different storage classes: standard, intelligent tiering, standard 1A, 1 zone, glacier deep. There are different storage classes. Every storage class is having its own advantage and disadvantage. First, let's experience first.
Okay, sir.
I am creating a bucket in Mumbai region. By default, the bucket is blocked. I'm unblocking it. I acknowledge the settings and I create a bucket. As bucket is ready, now I upload the object into the bucket. Some object I'm uploading. After uploading, I'm going to permissions. I am granting the public access. I understand the settings. And this is what we are doing. We are creating an object. We are uploading the object and we are accessing the object using the object URL. This is what we are doing right from the S3 beginning. You are able to get the object. Fine. Now my point is, in which storage class this object is uploaded, my dear friends? In which storage class this particular object is uploaded? Select the object. 1 minute. Let me complete. When you select the object, scroll down. Can you see storage classes? Can you see storage classes? It is clearly mentioned that it is using standard storage class. So first thing, my dear friends, you have to understand that the default storage class is standard. When you upload the object, when you don't mention any storage class, by default, it takes the standard storage class. Standard storage class is high-speed storage class. A very high-speed storage class. If you don't want high-speed storage class, you go for a low-speed storage class. The cost, the bill reduces when you obviously change to low-speed storage class. How to change to a low-speed storage class? Here, if you want to change this particular object from standard to a low-speed storage class, you can see there's an option called edit the storage classes. These are all the storage classes available: standard, intelligent tiering. Okay, Yogesh, these are all different classes are available. Standard, deep archive for archived data. So there are different storage classes. You can change the storage class. Let's say I don't want to standard. I want to go to standard 1A and I change the storage class and I click on save. As you can successfully change the storage class. Now you can see Now you can see that the storage class previously it is showed as standard. Now it is showed as standard 1S. So
Frequent
point,
access.
point, you have to understand that the default storage class is standard.
Yes, sir.
Default storage class is standard. Standard is nothing but a high speed storage class. Okay, when you go for a high speed storage class, you get more bill. When you change to low speed storage class, you get a less bill.
Less bill.
When should we go for a
Cheaper.
high speed storage class, and when should a client should go for a low speed storage class?
Mhm.
Yogesh, can you give me a scenario? When should a client select a high speed storage class? When should a business should select a low speed storage class?
Sir, I think it should depend upon the retrieval speed, as in when the number of times we retrieve objects from our S3 bucket. Is it happening quite frequently, or is it happening infrequently? So depending upon that, we should switch between our storage classes or make decision between which storage class is better for us.
You're right. You're right. For example, a new movie is getting released in Amazon Prime. My dear friends, assume that a new movie is released in Amazon Prime, a popular movie, a hit movie is releasing in Amazon Prime. When a new movie is releasing in Amazon Prime, in the first week you have a lot of demand. Many people will watch that movie. Agree or not? There will be huge demand for that particular movie. As there is a lot of people who are accessing that particular object, the particular object should be stored in a high speed storage class because the end user should not have any buffering issues. Yogesh, have you seen any time Amazon Prime getting buffering issues? No.
As long as my internet connection is stable, it won't.
Yes, as long as our point. But the Amazon,
Yes, sir.
it makes sure that it is why client don't want that particular object to be buffered. They want that particular object to be delivered at much more faster rate over the internet. So in that case, they go for a high speed storage class. The same movie, Yogesh, the same movie, after 6 months, obviously the number of people watching the movie reduces. Do you agree, Yogesh? After 6 months, the
Yes,
number of
this
people
happens.
watching the movie reduces. After 1 year, there will be reduced number of people accessing the movie simultaneously. In such case, so to save the bill, Yogesh, what we can do that 6 months older movies you can move, we can transfer from the high speed storage class to a low speed storage class. You can save the bill. So every storage class is having its own advantage and disadvantage. I strongly recommend you to read the documentation to understand the importance in what scenarios. You can learn more, look at the documentation on Amazon. They'll clearly explain which scenarios we should go for high speed storage classes or low speed storage class. If you want to see the difference in bill, your client says that, okay, I have 10 terabytes of objects. The 10 terabytes of objects are now using high speed storage class. Now I am getting bill. I don't want this kind of bills. I want to reduce the budget of the cloud platform. So could you please move my objects to a low speed storage class? And the client will ask you, what is the difference of bill I get if I change my object from, let's say, 10 terabytes of size from a high speed storage class to low speed storage class? As an AWS engineer, you should able to give them at least some calculation so that they can experience the difference. For that, AWS provides calculator. Search in Google AWS calculator. AWS pricing calculator. AWS provides pricing calculator. Select the service, which service you want to get some estimate. Simple storage service. Okay. No, 1 minute. This is more better. AWS service name S3 calculator. Yes. Go for, you can calculate and give the estimates of EC2. You can give the estimates of S3. Everything can be calculated. I want to know the calculation of S3 storage. This is S3 standard. Let's say if I am 100 GB, if I'm storing 100 GB of data in S3 standard storage class, the bill I get, you can see updated as $2.18. Sorry. Where is it? Okay. You can see the bill what I got is $2.18. The same 100 GB storage class, I don't want in standard. I am removing from standard. I am placing it in infrequent access data. You can see 1.25, the bill reduced, Yogesh, isn't it?
Yes,
The bill
sir.
reduced because I have changed the storage class. You can see here the bill has been reduced. Okay, and the bill changes from region to region. Don't think that the billing rates are same across the region. If 100 GB storage class, if you're storing 100 GB of data, if you're storing in infrequent access, in such case, the bill what you get client is 1.25. In if the bucket is in US, is the same bucket if it is in Mumbai. Look at this. Now it is 1.25. If I change to Mumbai, if the bucket I created in Mumbai,
Still the same.
no, it has, you have to update it here. 100. It is 3.55. So you have to understand that the Mumbai region is more costlier than Ohio region. So like this, the deal depends upon the storage class. So storage class is all about clients will have historical data. Clients will have historical data, infrequent access data. For that, they don't want to be huge bills. They don't want to pay huge bills. You can avoid the bills by archiving the historical data into a lower speed storage class. That's how you should help the clients for reducing the bill. So this is about a more quick discussion about storage classes. And I've shown you how to practically change the storage class, and you can also now in a position to check and give the estimate to the client by using the calculator. Remember, the calculator what I have shown you is for S3. You can also do some experiments on getting the calculator for a EC2. If you create an EC2 machine of 16 GB RAM with 100 GB of storage, if it is in Mumbai region, you get the estimate. The same if it is in US region, you can get the estimate. Okay, so that's about classes. Next, storage classes we now know. Cross-region replication. Let's try to understand about the cross-region replication. Look at, so 90% you should be able to understand the concept by looking at a name. 80% you should be in a position to do guesswork. Cloud is very simple. By looking at the name, versioning, you should get most of the concept. Okay, it will handle versions. You know, version is nothing but older version, newer version. Yes, got it. Encryption, probably you enable the version. When you enable encryption, it will encrypted and stored in the disk. Cross-region replication, by looking at the name, you should be able to understand the concept. Cross-region replication. What is replication? Replication is duplication. Cross-region replication. Replication is duplication. Cross-region in a different region. Many clients, especially multinational clients like Netflix, will have their infrastructure in different regions. Many clients like Netflix, like ESPN Sports, like BBC, who are having their customers all over the world, they have their infrastructure in multiple regions. They have their infrastructure in multiple regions. Example is client, assuming a client is maintaining the infrastructure in multiple regions. Take an example of Netflix. Assuming Netflix is having some infrastructure in Mumbai region and they're having an infrastructure in Sydney region. Okay. So let's say they are maintaining a bucket in Mumbai region. They are also maintaining a bucket in Sydney region. Now what Netflix want, when a particular movie is uploaded into Mumbai region, when a particular movie is uploaded into Mumbai region, replication should happen. Replication is duplication should happen in a different region. The same movie should also be replicated. That means a duplicate copy of the movie should also be there in the Sydney region. So that traffic from Australia, they should access the Australia bucket, and traffic from Asia should go to Mumbai bucket rather than the complete traffic load going to one particular bucket. They want to have replication in different region. This should happen automatically whenever the object gets uploaded. Whenever an object gets uploaded, the corresponding duplication should also happen in a different region. This is what the client wants it to be done automatically. This can be done automatically by using a feature called cross-region replication. Obviously, if I want to show you the cross-region replication, so we should have minimum 2 buckets. So first I will create Mumbai bucket. Next I have to create Sydney bucket to work out with the practicals. So first step what we do, we create Mumbai bucket. Second step what we do, we create Sydney bucket. Next what you need to do, remember, if you want to, if for cross-region replication, the prerequisite is versioning should be enabled. Compulsory versioning should be enabled in the source bucket. Versioning should also be enabled in the destination bucket. That's the prerequisite. So step 1, I will create Mumbai bucket. Step 2, I create Sydney bucket. Step 3, I will enable versioning in the Mumbai bucket. Step 4, I will enable versioning in the Sydney bucket. Okay. Next, I will enable cross-region replication. I will enable cross-region replication in Mumbai bucket, and I have to clearly mention to which bucket I want to replicate. Client may have bucket in Sydney, client may have in Singapore, client may have in Ohio, client may have it in London. But the requirement is they want it to be replicated in only specific region. Let's say the client wants to replicate it in region. So I will enable cross-region replication at the source region, that is at Mumbai bucket. So let's do that. Let's do step by step. I want to delete and I want to start from the scratch. I want to delete from this. I want to start from the scratch. First step, what I'll do, I create a bucket in Mumbai region. Create bucket. Bucket name I'll start with MUM underscore hyphen some number. I will create it in Mumbai region. I block the bucket. I unblock the bucket. I acknowledge the settings, and I create the bucket. Source bucket is so one bucket is created. I'll create one more bucket in Sydney region. Create bucket. SYD. Where I want to create the bucket in Sydney region. Successfully created the bucket. I have created two buckets, one bucket in Mumbai region, one bucket in Sydney region. Next thing, I will enable, I will be enabling versioning in both Mumbai and Sydney. Go to Mumbai, properties, bucket versioning, enable. Sydney, properties, bucket versioning, enable. Next, I will enable cross-region replication in Mumbai region. Go to Mumbai bucket, go to properties. Not under properties, under management. Replication rules. Create replication rule. Rule name can be anything. Rule number, anything. Rule name can be anything. What is your source bucket? Source bucket is Mumbai. Apply, I want replication to apply to all the objects in the bucket. What is your destination bucket? The destination bucket is this one's SYD. And you have to create IAM rule. Remember, you have to create IA role. Role is all about communication happening between the regions. We'll discuss more about roles when we learn about identity and access management. As of now, you have to create a role. And then that's it. Save. I think I'm very clear. Replication configured successfully. As the replication has been configured successfully, you can also see replication is destination is Sydney, destination region is Sydney. Okay, source region is obviously Mumbai. So let's experience it. Let's upload one object. Right now I'm in Mumbai bucket. Let's upload one object. Some object I'm uploading. Let's say we have an object called noc.doc. I am uploading this noc.doc document. I have uploaded a object in the source bucket, Mumbai. Now what happened? The same object should also be now available in the Sydney region. Go to Sydney. Right now it has not been updated. It will take some time. It will take approximately 1 minute or 2 minutes, probably 3 minutes to get the object replicated in the destination region. Meanwhile, let's have interaction. Vinesh Shah. How are you?
I'm fine. How's Sunil?
I'm doing well, Vinesh. Thank you very much. Your question, please.
Yeah, my question was not regarding this bucket, but my question was regarding DevOps.
Yeah, tell me.
A lot of people say that only developers should go for DevOps, and I'm working on more of, I would say, Windows admin kind of profile.
Mhm. Okay.
So should an infrastructure guy go for DevOps?
They
Because
can.
we do not have developer or scripting background.
I understand. So that's a wrong assumption. Don't think that only developers can move into DevOps. Operations team can also move into DevOps. Many successful candidates, Linux administrators, Windows administrators, SAN storage. Okay, so database administrators, operations team, cyber security team. So they have moved to DevOps, Vinesh. Okay, so that's a wrong assumption.
And one more thing, right now I'm working on Azure. So do you think I can use that experience on my resume to show that, okay, I have some relevant experience
Yes, you
for
can do
DevOps?
that. Every DevOps professional should have having exposure on one cloud platform is an added advantage, Vinesh. As you already have working knowledge on Azure, so DevOps on Azure will help you. Okay, but my training, Vinesh, all my DevOps tools I'll be implementing on AWS cloud platform. Okay, you can relate it to Azure. Okay.
But do you think that 45 hours of training will be enough to get a job? Because DevOps is a new concept. We are zero in
Yeah,
DevOps.
no problem. That's that 45 minutes, 45 hours of training is more than enough. I strongly recommend you to add one more small tool called Terraform. I hope you have heard about that. That will add value. Right now, that particular tool is not part of my syllabus. If that is also learned, that will help you finish.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Thanks.
from which location?
I'm from Mumbai.
Okay, Vinesh. Thank you. So all these are similar, isn't it? On Azure, you can relate. Agree, isn't it?
Yeah. GI is different, but concept-wise,
The
I
use
can
concept
relate.
is same. You will find it in VPC. You will find it in Route 53. Everything. Okay.
And one more question: what are your thoughts on Azure DevOps versus AWS DevOps?
As you are from Azure background, I recommend you to learn Azure DevOps. Okay, that will be a related knowledge, Vinesh. Okay, so that's my suggestion. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Is it replicated? Refresh. Let's refresh the page. Yes, you can see the object has been replicated. It has been done automatically. That's concept of cross-region replication. Zishan Moin.
Hello.
Hi Zishan. Good evening.
Yeah. Hi Sunil.
How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing well, Zishan. How are you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Just want to tell you a couple of things. Like it's a really great initiative of
Thank you, Zishan.
teaching with such a low cost and spreading the knowledge.
Thank you.
Everybody. Me too.
How is the learning experience?
Yeah, good. I kind of work on AWS, not so much in all the direction, but I'm from a database background, Oracle, Postgres, and some.
So
Mongo.
you mainly work with the RDS?
Yeah, I work with mainly with RDS. We have hosted a few Oracle in, you can say, terabytes on EC2 also, and a few Mongo on EC2. But yeah, the reason I want to understand through this training is more of the use cases of S3. And we have certain use cases like putting data from on-premise to S3 in like 300-400 GBs every day and pull it back to the RDS using the bucket policies.
Okay.
So we need to kind of automate that So if you can explain.
Are you using Lambda service?
No, we have to use. Design this now. This is the requirement, and we are kind of doing it manually for now. Every week or so.
Okay, you want to automate it.
Automate it, and how to fastly push so much of data from on-premise to S3, like in 1 terabyte or 800 GBs, like that. Is there any exclusive service for that?
You have done. You eventually have to wait for a few more days, Zishan.
Okay. And other thing is, like, will you be covering under VPC the network ACL?
Yes,
and
NACL
okay.
and NAT gateway and private
Transit?
subnets, public subnet. No, transit is not covered. Transit is not covered. That's part of professional course. Okay. Rest of the things are covered.
You are taking professional course also?
Not now, as of now. No, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
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 Okay. Okay. Zishan.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, friends, so I hope you have experienced the concept of cross-region replication. It has replicated in Sydney region. So you can replicate. You can, as we have created one rule from Mumbai to Sydney, you can create one more rule from Mumbai to US or Europe, whatever it is. You can have multiple rules. Okay. So let's delete whatever we have deleted. We have created to make sure we will not get the bill. So, and remember, cross-region replication. Don't think that if you delete object from the source bucket, my dear friends, if you delete object from the source bucket, it will automatically delete it. No, it will not be deleted. The moment an object is created in the replicated, it itself behaves like an independent object. There is no link between the source object to destination object. So don't think that when you update the source object, the destination object will be uploaded. When you delete the object or in the destination also, it will be deleted. No, synchronization will not happen. Both are independent buckets. That's what I have mentioned here. Vice versa will not happen. That means if you create it in Sydney, it will not get replicated in Mumbai. So vice versa will not happen. And then when you delete an object, it will not be deleted in Sydney. When you edit an object, it will not be edited. That means you have to understand that both are independent objects. Okay. Perfect. Next. Transfer acceleration, encryption, tags, metadata. These are very, very small, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Bucket policies, lifecycle management, probably. Rest of the topics we will be completing in tomorrow, probably. So by tomorrow, we'll be completing S3 and we will be moving on to next service called identity and access management. We will be moving on to next service called identity and access management. That's our plan for tomorrow's session. So please delete whatever you have created and then sign out of it. Okay, so to reduce the bill. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Do hands-on for whatever we are doing. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll learn the rest of all the concepts of S3. Our plan for tomorrow is to complete the remaining concepts of S3 and then move on to the next service called identity and access management. Until then, have a nice time. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.